I'm struggling to understand how Sister Wives Kody Brown doesn't see alienating those outside his core family as a problem. He's his own worst enemy. Sister Wives star Kody Brown has been alienating everyone around him other than his core family, and I don't understand how he doesn't see that in many ways that will be a major problem for his future. Throughout the run of Sister Wives, Kody has been able to move through his relationships without much difficulty despite having some fairly polarizing opinions. While things have gotten worse for Kody in recent years, for the majority of the series, it was clear that Kody was the head of his household. As is the way in most Mormon families, Kody was the leader. Although Kody has always been more open about his feelings on Sister Wives, he's been making it clear where he stands with his family during the most recent season of the series. After losing 3 of his 4 wives, Kody's been dealing with the fallout of his divorces in an interesting way, his kids' behavior coloring the way he feels about his ex-wives. Though Kody understands that his older children are adults who build their own opinions, he still believes that their opinions are being colored by their mothers, meaning he's investing more in his family with Robin than anyone. Referring to himself, Roby, and their 5 children as the core family, Kody's doing a great job at alienating his older kids from his life. While many of Kody's adult children don't speak to him as it is, those who were still in his corner are beginning to understand that he's not supportive of them in most ways. Despite knowing that he could be a good parent because of the way he interacts with his other kids, Kody's chosen to be a difficult and closed-off father to the kids outside of his core family, leaving them out in the cold. Although Kody and Robin's kids, 3 of which were from a previous marriage and adopted by Kody when he legally married Robin, have been able to see the good in Kody, his other children haven't gotten to see that side in years. As a father, Kody has pushed away his family in a way that's made them uninterested in continuing their relationship. Burdening his kids with the responsibilities he should be taking on as a parent, Kody has tried to explain that he'd be okay with a relationship in the future, but has strict guidelines around how that may happen. Rather than feeling comfortable with his children or deciding to be the bigger person and go to them, Kody's made the difficult decision to work through his issues on his own and says he'll be ready when his kids want to come to him. If they apologize for their behavior, Kody's made it clear that he'll indulge in a relationship with them once again. Aside from the fact that Kody is the parent, the fact that he's not interested in even trying to apologize for his unresponsive and irresponsible behavior makes it clear he's not ready for any adult conversation. Although Kody's main focus at the moment seems to be on his kids, it's clear that his time on Sister Wives hasn't been good for his ego. Being on TV doesn't bode well for Kody, who doesn't like to be challenged. Rather, he would appreciate it if viewers didn't provide him feedback so he doesn't have to face his faults. In his own life, his exes all provided him with some pointed input about his behavior, which caused him to spiral in a variety of ways. Having it happen on an even larger scale is even more painful for Kody. As Kody continues to alienate his older children, I'm wondering if he truly understands that he's not going to be able to repair those relationships after Sister Wives. While I'm hopeful that Kody's behavior doesn't impact his kids too much, he seems hell-bent on pursuing relationships with his kids as he moves forward, despite only wanting to do so if they come to him. Kody's inability to handle the consequences of his own actions has made it clear he doesn't grasp that alienating his kids publicly on Sister Wives will rob him of a relationship with them in the future. Over the course of Sister Wives, we've watched the Brown family transform from a complex, plural household navigating the intricacies of polygamy to a fractured group, with Kody Brown increasingly surrounded by a core family, while the rest slowly dissolve from his orbit. It's been painful to witness, especially because, no matter how obvious it seems to outsiders, Kody doesn't appear to understand the cost of alienating those beyond his favored circle. And frankly, I'm struggling to wrap my head around how he doesn't see it as a serious problem. At the heart of the issue is a man who once claimed to believe in unity, fairness, and spiritual equality among his wives and children. The show is pitched as a glimpse into the lives of a polygamous family that, though unconventional, operated on principles of love, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. But that ideal has crumbled, episode by episode, season by season, with Kody's blind spots becoming impossible to ignore. What started as a family of 5 adults and over a dozen children striving for connection has splintered into silos of resentment and emotional abandonment. Kody's core family, namely Robin and her children, have become the only ones who seem to matter in his day-to-day life. The rest of his once vibrant family, Mary, Janelle, and Cristin, along with their kids, have been sidelined, dismissed, and left questioning their place. Cristin was the first to officially say enough and leave. Janelle followed with a quiet but firm separation. Even Mary, who had stuck around in a spiritual marriage devoid of affection for years, finally pulled the plug. And yet, Kody still doesn't seem to grasp the common denominator in the wreckage: himself. What's baffling is the way Kody frames his relationships with his ex-wives and their kids. Time and again, we've seen him deflect blame, twist narratives, and flat out deny the damage his favoritism has caused. He speaks of loyalty and respect, but those values only seem to apply when he's receiving them, not when he's being asked to give them. Kody has created a hierarchy within his family, one where Robyn is the queen and her children the crown jewels. The rest? Mere courtiers expected to serve his emotional needs without reciprocity. It's not just the wives who've felt the sting of this shift. His relationships with his older children have also deteriorated. From the heartbreaking fallout with Gabriel and Garrison, Janelle's sons who called out Kody's COVID hypocrisy, to the emotional distance with Isabel, who underwent scoliosis surgery with minimal support from her father, the pattern is clear. If you challenge Kody, question his logic, or fail to conform to his vision of family, you're cut off. It's that simple. And yet he doesn't see this as a problem. Kody often defends himself by saying he's been pushed away or rejected. He claims his wives didn't support him as the patriarch, that his kids turned on him. But what he fails to acknowledge is that trust and respect aren't automatic. They're earned, and once lost, they must be rebuilt through consistent actions, not condescending monologues or weaponized tears. Let's talk about Robyn for a moment, because she's undeniably central to the fracture. Kody sees her as his most loyal partner, the one who never wavered. But loyalty built on exclusion isn't noble, it's isolating. Robyn's presence in the family didn't have to be a wedge, but it became one because of how Kody handled it. Instead of integrating her with equal energy into the existing structure, he allowed her to become a fortress. Her kids got the full-time dad experience, while the others watched theirs drift further away. And now, Robyn is left crying on the couch, wondering why the family she wanted so badly is gone. The irony is stifling. In one of the most striking moments of the recent seasons, Kody admitted that he was only interested in repairing relationships with the wives and kids who still wanted him. On the surface, that might seem reasonable. Why chase people who don't want to be chased? But it's a shallow sentiment when he's the one who created the division in the first place. Healing broken bonds requires humility, not just reactionary logic. It demands acknowledgement of harm, not an expectation that others overlook it. So here we are, 3 wives down, a growing number of estranged kids, and a patriarch who still doesn't seem to grasp the gravity of what he's lost. The idea that a man could alienate most of his family and still not view it as a critical failure is staggering. It speaks to either deep denial or a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to lead a family, especially one built on such a precarious dynamic as polygamy. What's perhaps most painful is how Kody's refusal to own his role in the collapse undermines the very principles the family claimed to uphold. The Brown family wasn't just a domestic arrangement. It was a religious covenant, a spiritual undertaking meant to model love and unity under God. But somewhere along the way, ego overtook intention. Kody stopped being a partner and became a ruler. And in that shift, the bonds that once held them together began to fray.